Hello YouTube and fellow Star Wars collectors. On this episode of Toys Are the Way, we will be taking a look at one of the characters from the first wave of vintage collection figures for 2024, the repack of Captain Cassian Andor from Rogue One. If you're new to the channel or a fan of Star Wars collecting, be sure to smash a like on this video, remember to subscribe, and make sure to ring that bell to stay notified. And a special thank you to my channel members, your support is greatly appreciated. So welcome back, gang. As you can see, I have Captain Cassian Andor here, who's part of the most recent wave of figures that is kicking off 2024. And it's really kind of an odd wave. We only have 4 characters in it, and 2 of them are repacks of figures that you can still find on the secondary market for a pretty low price. So it's a little bit odd. This one's a fan channel, so you're not going to be seeing this in stores, which is probably a good thing because I don't think many people are really jumping out of their seats to get more Cassian Andors or Finns, unfortunately. I do understand, Hasbro's decision here. Yes, photoreal technology is great, and, this character probably could really benefit from it, but there's really not enough newness here for me, and also, just the only new character we're seeing in this wave is Count Dooku, who I'm really excited for, but I would like to see the year start off with a bit more new tooling personally. But regardless, I wanted to have one carded because I never kept this figure carded, and sure, I'll take a photoreal update. But with that being said, let's take a closer look at Cassian Andor's card and the figure itself. So here we have Captain Cassian Andor on his Rogue One card. We got a nice image of Diego Luna in the Yavin hangar base with the Kenner logo down below, and a really nice green name pill color. Here you can see the figure on the bubble, which looks pretty good. Got that photoreal update, and there's his multi-accessory blaster, which can be put together and make a rifle. So all in all, a pretty decent card. It's nice to get this one for my Rogue One collection, but it's nothing new here. We've seen this one in the past, so all in all, not too bad if you're trying to start your Rogue One collection late. On the back, he is VC 130 in the line, Captain Cassian Andor, and we have the new style of layout for the vintage collection cards, where we have another image of the card itself, the character, and the vintage collection logo, along with a small blurb about Cassian Andor, and then all of the other stuff down below. So all in all, there's not too much new here. Vintage collection fans are definitely very familiar with this carded release, but the only thing I will say that's a positive about this round is that the first release of this character on a vintage card back, the bubble had a very poor adhesive and actually would pretty much fall off the card very easily. And so far, nothing too bad here. So maybe an upgrade for you if you're wanting to have this one carded and you're worried about your figure falling off the card itself. So that's definitely a plus here, but other than that, this is something that we're very familiar with. And taking a closer look at Captain Cassian Andor, the first thing I will say is that this is a really nice upgrade, but I really would have liked to see rocker ankles added to this figure. Sure, I know tooling and budget is always an issue, but all they would have had to do is just give him some newer lower legs, and I think it would have been a nice upgrade. Sure, he's got ball jointed hips, they are a bit of the older style, and he's got swivels at the thigh, which is nice, but rocker ankles really would have, completed this figure in my opinion. For the most part, not much new here. He's got all the articulation that we're pretty familiar with. He's got hinges at the wrist. His elbow goes back almost about 90. Would have been nice to see it a little bit past that. He's got ball joint on his neck. Here you can see the new portrait, which looks pretty good in my opinion. He's got a crunch here about mid-torso. And then, yeah, not too much else to see here. It's got soft plastic holster, which, fits the blaster in pretty well. And yeah, this is removable as well. And that would have been cool to see maybe some arms that you could put in here so you can have like a jacket off look too. But all in all, not too much new here. If you bring in the older figure for a little bit of comparison in terms of the coloring, it's not far off. He almost looks like he has dirtier pants here on the old version. And for the most part, everything is about the same. The jacket has about the same color to it. This one seems a little bit more brown. And then, yeah, the boots themselves, a little bit more brown in there, a little bit more vibrancy. And then, of course, you can just see right here, the main difference is the portrait. Man, that definitely looks a lot better in my opinion. Taking a look at the two Vintage Collection releases, you can see that the photoreal update on the left is a huge upgrade in my opinion. There's just a lot more depth, a lot more detail, and it actually looks a bit more like the actor himself, where the old version on the right is the older technology of, painting head sculpts, and there's just something about it that looks lifeless. It kind of looks like a doll, and just very flat, and yeah, you can definitely just see this is a huge improvement, and I'm actually pretty happy with this photoreal update. Now the question is, was this photoreal update enough? I don't know. I can't really answer that question. Here you can see on the right I have the Cassian Andor, except I put the head sculpt from the Andor series figure on it, and that was kind of like my upgrade that I had added to my collection for some time. But now taking a look at these, I don't know, I think I'm actually a little bit happier with the Rogue One photoreal update. But I will say that Hasbro should have given us a little bit more. If they would have went the extra mile and at least given this figure rocker ankles, I think I would have been a bit more impressed personally. The Vintage Collection figures for Rogue One were certainly wonderful releases back in 2018, and while they haven't aged terribly, there have been some incredible advancements in 375 tooling over the years. Captain Cassian Andor sports the old-style ball-jointed hips, which are easy enough to interact with and achieve some decent action figure poses. Despite the lack of rocker ankles, the figure can pose rather well, but would certainly benefit from that point of articulation. Additionally, the range of motion on the shoulders is slightly hindered by the soft plastic jacket, and when combined with the odd choice of direction for the hinge wrists, a proper sniper position cannot be achieved. The photoreal portrait is noticeably better, but some updates to the articulation really would have paid off for this release. I hope you've enjoyed this video and taking a look at the latest Vintage Collection repack, Captain Cassian Andor from Rogue One. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It really helps and is always greatly appreciated. Thanks everyone, and may the Force be with you.